So that's Tom again. In case we had forgotten, it's been about 6 sessions since we've seen Tom. So
Oh, you can never forget Tom.
Those
Creepy looking dude.
His teeth stay at all.
So
A little more going on there than what meets the eye.
yeah, you can see his arms are all kind of twisty, and he's got like a little stand that's up there that he's kind of swinging around and whatnot. And besides his tiny little loincloth protecting his unmentionables, he's got that little pouch that's hanging off the side.
Tom's the one performing right now.
Yes, Tom's up on the stage performing.
Guess I'll just continue to drink the drink.
Okay. Alrighty, so you're drinking and watching Tom doing weird things with his body, kind of stretching and whatnot. And the wine workers seem to really love it for some bizarre reason.
And then Cormier fires an elemental ray across the room.
Holy
Pay no
smokes!
attention to that.
Stretch around that.
Crowd screams, ah!
I said detect evil. Oh, okay.
Let's
You have a
kick
weird
this baby
way.
off.
Hang on, I gotta get a bunch of mine workers. Hang on, let me get 40 PCs in here. No, just kidding. Alright.
Oh, shit.
So, Tom's kind of doing his thing and does this sort of a performance. Anything you guys want to do while he's performing, or are you just going to kind of wait till he's done?
How long has this performance run from the last time we saw it?
6 hours. No, I'm just kidding. About 35, 40 minutes.
All right, let's go find his room.
Okay.
I want to see if this guy's got something else going on, because I have this sense about him.
So you all going?
That,
you all going to his room?
I'll stay at the bar and keep an eye on him.
Yeah, I need someone to be able
I'll
to
go.
jot up the steps, looking
Okay.
for the bathroom or something or other.
Alrighty.
If,
So I got Cormer and Bose going. Erdis, are you going to go too, or are you staying behind?
That guy that handed him the note, where did he go to?
So he kind of, Tanner saw that he was kind of slipped him the note and then disappeared, like he almost left the building or went upstairs or something. He's not in the room.
Yeah. Oh, you guys.
All right, so whoever's staying at the bar will watch him, and then whoever's going with to search for his room. Do you guys want to? There's 2 stairs that you can go. You can either go. I know on the picture here it doesn't have everything that we need, but you can either go up or down the stairs. And it seems like people are flowing freely both up and down the steps. It's not like it's you're not allowed to go there type of thing.
Oh, maybe I'll go with Corm.
Okay, Cormer and Bose. Okay. All right, Tanner, hold down the fort and the liquor.
Will do.
All right. Anybody have a preference, up or down?
Oh, might as well go up.
Okay.
yeah, wherever he came from.
All right. Well, we're not sure because he was curtained. We couldn't see if he came from upstairs or downstairs or even from outside the building for that matter.
So he was back.
Yeah.
Wherever, somewhere else.
Yeah, he was back where the kind of the reception area was, and you guys couldn't tell, because you kind of enter that little room and then there's stairs that go off that reception room. So.
That's all right. He stinks, so.
Alrighty.
We'll track it down by smell.
Okay, sounds good. So you guys start to head upstairs, and the guy at the door says, "Excuse me."
And we keep going.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Because he's got to stay by the door.
Yeah, he's like, it costs 5 silver to go up there. Hey. You guys continue up the stairs. You hear him yell, "Bartender, bouncer, somebody!" So you guys go upstairs. The upstairs seems to be a lot nicer. There's sort of more of a darker wood. Things seem to be kind of really nice and clean, and there's multiple little rooms that are kind of off to the sides. And you'd see various human females kind of meandering about along the balcony, looking down onto the area below where you can see Boggle doing his things.
I knew I should have went.
Well, I'm gonna give him the money as we come out.
Okay, alrighty. So he's like, "Thank you. I wish your other friends were that courteous."
Sorry, we're in a hurry.
That's all right. So you see a very attractive female, kind of down at the end. Doesn't all the females there are very attractive, but this one sort of stands out. She seems to kind of sort of have air of importance. And she's just kind of watching, and she starts to kind of walk over to you guys. She finally kind of gets up to you, and she says, "Bose, do you really think I look like a guy?"
No, I thought the bank still did. I didn't realize you owned this, so I figured it was a guy.
She kind of laughs and sort of is kind of coyish and says, "I'm just playing with you. I'm just teasing you at all." She said, "I loved your stories. I thought they were great. I think there's probably a lot of truth to a lot of the stories you said, and there's probably an underlying story underneath it as well."
Always a little. You can't have a story without an element of truth and a little bit of add-on. Just a little.
She says, "I agree completely. I understand exactly what you're saying." She says, "So what can I help you guys with? What are you looking for?"
Well, we were wondering what kind of services were provided up here. Because I got all this coin.
She kind of gives you a smile and she says, "Whatever you desire is what we do."
All right. Well, who all you got in the business here that we can take a look at? Mm-hmm.
So she kind of moves her hand over and she says, "We have lots of beautiful women. We have human and elven. I see you may be interested in elven yourself. If you like dwarves or gnomes, we have those too."
God bless them.
She said, "And some people that may be in town, even like good old Tom down there, that he also kind of helps out certain peoples at certain times. So if that's your thing," and she kind of smiles.
Does he really? Where the hell's that guy sleep anyways? Oh my god. I want to stay away from where his room is.
He sleeps down in the basement.
That's a good choice. Thank you very much. All right. I ain't got to worry about that anymore. Whew. I don't want to go down in the basement. I don't want to know what you keep in the basement.
Probably not.
Can I detect evil on her?
Absolutely. Yep. So you kind of get the feeling that she's not evil.
And my motive check failed.
Sure, absolutely. So you sense that she's kind of playful, but doesn't seem to have any ill will to you.
All right. Well, we kind of feel her on a little bit, whisper to her, kind of.
I know. I saw her too, and I'd be feeling around too.
Fill her in on some of the shady shit that's going on, and we have cause to suspect that somebody's trying to resurrect some old gods to unleash.
She kind of sits there and listens very intently, kind of smiling at times, at appropriate times, and obviously showing signs of concern. And she says, "Boy, what are we going to do about this?"
Well, we're actually looking for your boy Tom there.
Oh,
He might have some information.
She says, "Well, let me see if I can have him come up." You see her kind of turn immediately and waves down to the bouncer, who's kind of always has his eye kind of up there, kind of watching you guys. And she sort of gives a certain hand signal, and he nods. And
Where's the nearest window?
there are no windows.
Oh, shit.
And he nods his head, and he kind of walks up onto the stage, and he kind of announces to the room. He says, "Unfortunately, Tom has a prior arrangement that he has to leave for, and we will be without entertainment for about 10 minutes until we can get Aurelio up here." And then Cormer, you see Aurelio, which you had noticed was sitting in the corner, sort of like drop his head down and just kind of mumble something underneath his breath, and walks over to the bar and grabs a quick drink. Tom seems kind of surprised and sort of stops his contortionist and kind of looks up at you guys, and you see a big toothy smile come across his face, and he starts bounding his way out of the room up to the stairs to you guys.
Woohoo!
Tanner, I assume you're going to be staying downstairs still?
I'll start making my way upstairs, but I'll make sure I'm behind Tom.
Okay, alrighty. So you kind of keep Tom in your sights. You see him sort of bound up, and he looks over to the guy that is kind of man in the door, and sort of gives him kind of a snarl actually. And the guy at the door kind of shudders a little bit and doesn't say a word. And he's so distracted by the snarl, he doesn't see you going up the stairs. So finally, Tom kind of gets up there and kind of looks at you guys, and he's like, "Interesting that you would ask me to come up." And he's kind of got almost like, not a lisp, but sort of a weird kind of accent to him.
Yeah, well, I guess we have some questions for you.
Well, before you start with the questions, I have a note for you. And he kind of reaches in his pouch and takes out this piece of paper and hands it to you. And Zalamandra's kind of inquisitively looking like this is not at all how she expected this whole interaction to go.
Kind of give him a funny look and say the same thing actually to him. This is not how I expected this to go.
And he says, I am sometimes the giver of notes in this department, or in this place, because I have a very good memory of people. And I was handed this note, and I was told to give it to you. And he puts the note out in his hand outstretched, and sort of gets a big toothy grin again. And he says, "The note is yours." And he kind of just points it generally at you guys.
As long as we take it and read it.
Alrighty. He kind of pulls back a little bit, and he's like, "Just kidding," and then hands it to you.
Ha ha, you're a joker, Tom.
I try.
He's a regular comedian. Hey, you can get up on the stage with me.
Maybe sometime. He says you have nice ballads. So you guys look at the note here, or do you want to wait?
It's up to you guys.
We'll read here.
What's that again?
Yeah, read it here.
Okay.
We'll read it here.
So you open up the note, and it says, "You are cordially invited to have dinner with Balabar Smink. He requests your attendance at his house tonight, if at all possible."
Well, it's about frickin' time.
Salamandras kind of looks at you guys and
I need a date, though.
She says, "Well, I'm sure one of these beautiful women would love to go with."
No. A real date. Like you, my lady.
She kind of blushes a little bit. And she says, "Unfortunately, I have to run my Emporium. However," she said, "maybe in the future, if you're not dead when you come back from Smanx, then maybe we can go out to eat then." Tom kind of
well,
chuckles.
he was having us over in dinner, so I figured a nice house dinner and whatnot. But if you think he has possible ill, would just keep their precious little darling self in pristine condition.
I'm just worried. You never know. You know, you hear about weird things in this town now that the new mine owners are here.
Indeed. What have you heard? Because we've heard some interesting tales too, as to some of the mines and odd things happening in some of the mining areas.
She kind of smiles at you and she says, I don't tell anything about any of my customers. All their secrets are secrets with me.
Oh, darn! I have to work it out of you some other way. Wink, wink.
she just kind of blushes again and she says, "Is there anything?" She kind of looks at Cormer. She's like, "Is there anything that we can get you?"
Nope. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for my date.
Tom kind of looks around. He says, "Is there anything else you guys need from me? Because if not, I'd like to go back and make some more money."
And just maybe ask him a little bit about Balabar.
He says, "What would you like to know about Balabar?"
What kind of man is he? Cruel?
He's
Nice?
He's not a nice
Is he
guy.
dirty?
He's everybody in this. He's like Tom's like everybody in this town is dirty. Smell me. I mean, I'm dirty, right? But I think that he's kind of an arrogant guy who's sometimes probably gets in over his head.
Maybe that's what's going on in mine. He's gotten in over his head.
Maybe.
Alright, well, maybe we should meet him.
So you guys see Aurelio the magician now's on the stage, and you hear kind of a and a lot of sort of pyrotechnics and magical stuff going on there, and people ooh in and on.
Oh, I'm missing it! And I go rushing down the steps.
Alrighty, so
Till our date.
so the rest of you guys are still upstairs.
I'll head downstairs too.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna head downstairs.
Alrighty.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. So you guys go kind of back downstairs and I assume back into the bar area?
And I think, what's her name for calling Tom over?
Oh, she says anytime. She says I'm always here to please within reason. She kind of goes back to back to where she was, sort of standing and watching the general ongoing.
So maybe we should make our way over to his house.
Yep. Let's do it.
Okay. So alrighty. So you guys leave the Emporium and obviously start to move over to his house. As you guys get fairly close, probably within 50, 100 yards or so, you do see the guards that are kind of patrolling. They look like simple guards, but he's got quite a few, at least a couple dozen, that are kind of patrolling around the house and sitting on the porch and whatnot. Almost looks like an armed encampment, really. And as you guys get close, there's some gentlemen on the steps or on the street that sort of put their hands up and they're like, "Hold there! What do you guys need?" You've never seen these guys before either, so.
I'm gonna show him the note, I guess.
Okay. So you guys kind of show him the note, and he looks at it and kind of flips it over and shows it to the guy next to him, and he's like, "Yep, he's expecting you guys. Go ahead and head up to the door."
We'll
Alright.
make the way up to the door.
So you guys get up to the door, and when you get there, there's about 6 guys that are standing there, and they're like, "Just so you guys know, Smank doesn't allow any weapons in his house, so you guys are gonna have to leave those with us."
Well, then I guess he doesn't want us to visit.
The guard kind of looks kind of like shocked. He's never heard of anybody say that before. He says, "No, you have to leave the weapons. You can't go in with them."
I'm
Well,
fine
then,
with leaving my weapons.
He wants to meet us, then he can come on out and we'll have a picnic out here.
All right. They again kind of look around and they're kind of weird.
We were the ones invited.
they're kind of dumbfounded, and one of the guys says, "Go tell Mr. Smank what's going on." And the guy kind of stumbles into the door and kind of runs inside. Eridus, they put their hands out for your weapon and are kind of waiting for you to hand it to them.
I'm gonna sense motive and like detect evil on him.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. So you sense that they're generally following orders, and they do not detect evil.
All right. Well, I have my sword over to him. Weapons.
Okay, all
Like
right.
the 5 that I have.
So you're handing all those over. They're like, the guy's like, "Hey, send Job over. We need some help with all these weapons." And they kind of put them into a big sack and kind of tie the top of the sack.
And I walk up the steps into the house.
Alrighty. So you go ahead and go on inside, and you see a nice long table with silverware and plates and whatnot, and you see a lot of people inside. There's a dwarf and a gnome that are kind of running around, sort of delivering food and whatnot. But you don't see anybody else other than the attendants. So, and the rest of you guys are still outside, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. The guards are kind of like shuffling their feet a little bit, sort of almost kind of like they're a little nervous, They're just like, okay, and just kind of thing. And all of a sudden, you guys see another guy run out, and he kind of runs, and he's like, Mr. Smank said that you guys can keep your weapons, but he wants to tell you no funny business. He kind of looks really, really nervous. The other guards are like kind of eyeing him funny, and then they kind of whistle, like, and most of the guards from the outside kind of come around and are real close to kind of the front door area there. And the chief guard, or the guard that seems to be the most, he's like, "We're gonna be right out here, so no funny business in there." And they kind of,
right.
Hey, no funny
Give us-
business out here either.
Give us that bag of our buddy's weapons.
So the guy's like, "We don't want any trouble. Here you go. You can take the bag." They kind of hand you the bag. You guys, once you get in, this is kind of an old mansion. I did mark it on the map, so just so you guys kind of know where you're at. But I moved the arrow over there. So, okay, great, thank you. And so as you guys walk in to the house, you can see exactly what he's talking about. And the more that you take a look, you see that just beyond the enter opening, and sort of the way to best describe it is that you walk in the entrance, and then there's the dining area or the receiving area, and it's kind of a large square. And then around that square, there's a passage that you can kind of walk around with walls that are there. And as you guys look, you see 3 great large apes sort of patrolling around that circle around the center area. And you hear a kind of a rattle of a chain as they're moving through. And you guys do see like there's this chain that's sort of laying on the ground, but kind of stretches all over the house.
And that's on who?
3 large apes.
Oh.
They're kind of like patrolling.
Lovely
almost.
place you have here.
You guys still don't see Smank yet, and one of the gnomes says, "Please, have a seat." And you notice that the table actually is a round table, so there's no real head of the table that's there. And there's definitely 4 chairs set up for each of you, and then there's one that has kind of you can see it's almost like a personalized flask that's sitting there. It's not like the rest of the glasses.
You have a seat at the table, I guess.
Okay, alrighty. They bring you some bread and some wine, and kind of pour it and kind of wait for the rest of the group to have a seat.
I'll sit down too.
Okay, alrighty.
Yep.
Alrighty. Tanner?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Tanner, they recognize you from being at the bars, and they bring the bottle and set it next to your glass.
Nice.
So you guys are kind of it's kind of quiet and sort of uneasy in there, to be honest with you, because real noise other than these apes kind of sliding on the chain and hearing this kind of as they're sort of patrolling around the room type of thing. And you do notice that there is a chain that connects to that does come into this room as well, kind of a bar where they could come into the room if they needed to. All right, and then as you guys are there, you kind of hear sort of a yell in the kitchen area and kind of some cluttering and whatnot, and then kind of out of the side area you see a very large, robust and I'm just gonna put it on the let's see, I thought I had a picture of him, but I guess I don't. But hang on just a second, I'll have the picture for you in just a second. I just have to get it again. So you see kind of a big kind of robust guy. He's kind of balding. He's got gray hair. He's got big bushy eyebrows. He probably looks like he's in his 40s or so. Kind of walk into the room.
I'm going to point out the interesting pets that he has.
Okay. He kind of gives you a quick smile and says, "Yeah, what do you think of my pets?"
Seems like you're being a little overcautious, aren't you?
Well, in this town, with the way people are, you always have to be a little overcautious. There's a picture of what he looks like. Hey, he kind of looks over to you, Cormer, and says, "I agree, it's not very weird to have a bunch of apes. I think it's pretty normal."
Totally normal.
Handsome fella.
So he sort of sits down at the table and he kind of yells. He's like, Eric, bring in the food. Jesus, come on, God damn it. He's really kind of angry, and you see kind of people kind of running around the area. So he kind of is kind of eating his food and kind of looks over to you guys and says, "So, you guys have been really busy in my town."
Your town.
Your town.
You're not the mayor.
"I've lived here longer than you guys have."
Yep, and it's our town now.
Huh? He kind of looks
It's our
at you.
town too.
He says, "Just so you know," he's like, "even though there's a mayor in town, I pretty much run the town."
Poor job of it.
"I've got the busiest mine here. I'm making a lot of money," he said, "but I have some things to talk about with you guys."
We suspected as much, but let's have a meal first.
All right.
Business later.
So, sounds good. Can I have some perception check for me, please?
Oh, yeah. I hope he isn't doing anything super sneaky.
Wow.
So, you guys just notice that he kind of glares at Bose when he makes that comment, but tried to keep it hidden, but he didn't do a very good job of it. So, they bring out the food. You guys got your main course. Actually, it's a really nice meal. Looks like they've gone out and killed some deer, so you have some nice venison that's there. Some fresh vegetables that you haven't seen in weeks, to be honest with you, that aren't from the area here. They're actually up from the north. And, obviously the wine is good and kind of keeps drinking and kind of eating and whatnot. And you notice that he really eats a lot. It's probably eats all that you guys are eating and then some.
I'm damn proud of him.
So he says, "Well, just so you know, I have no hard feelings about you killing Cullen, all my men, and one of my friends, Filge."
You hang around with some bad people, sir.
I'm shocked.
He looks at Eridus and he says, "There's bad people all over this town. I just have people that help me out, and you guys have removed a lot of them." He says, "But I have mad respect for you. Not many people could have dispatched all those guys and Filge without having some sort of skills."
Well,
And
you
is that the
know,
reason why we're here? Because of our skills?
Actually, it is. I have a proposition for you. I assume since you had dispatched Filge that you had seen some things in his observatory that may have shocked you.
You could say that. A lot of evil was coming from that little experiment that was going on.
Well, I needed him to investigate what was going on. I have to tell you, I have seen some things that have really scared me, and I had Cullen, and until you guys killed him, was going to be going down there to take care of it. But now that he's gone, I have to protect the town, and I have nobody to do it. And Filge was really looking into this, trying to figure out.
You cut.
So, what do you know about Ragnolin and his mine? Do you guys know anything that's going on over there?
Not really from... We haven't found much information yet.
So here's the thing. Ragnolin came over to me and said, hey, I've got something going on in my mine, and I need a lot of supplies, and I don't have the guys to do it. You got a bigger thing. I have to be honest with you. I don't really trust Ragnolin, but I said, this may make some money, so I'm going to bring him in. And you kind of see him sitting back, and he's sort of, kind of pushing food in his mouth as he's talking, and putting down more wine. And he said, he says, let's go downstairs and into my mine. So I took a couple of my guys with me, and we get down into the mine, and there's this area that's all blocked off, and he says, your guards can't go with you, it's only you and me. And of course I was a little hesitant, but I figured, well, Cullen will kill this guy if anything happens to me. And so he's like, I go with him, and we go down this long elevator, and I go into this place, and I gotta tell you what, there is some really weird shit going on down there. I get down there, sees what he's got, there's a lot of guys down there. I'm like, yeah, I'll be happy to bring you some food and whatnot. He said, they're like cultists or something. I don't know. They're like worshiping some weird things, and they're doing weird, I don't know, just crazy stuff down there. So I get my guys, I get them to send some food down there, and I'll be damned if they don't backstab me. And all of a sudden, my right-hand guy, my number 2 guy, the guy that takes care of me, I wake up one morning and his head's laying in my bed. I couldn't believe it. It scared the crap out of me, and that's when I knew that these guys were bad news. So I think they need to go, and I wanted to get Colin down there to help out, and so now that they're gone, I'm hoping you guys can help me out and help the town and really make this place a better place for us to get rid of these guys that are down there.
Well, if you're serious about helping the town and not just lining your pockets, being greedy, maybe we could work something out.
Hey, you will go down and help them. That's the way it is in this town. I'm the one who makes the decisions. You do what I want. Kind of see him getting kind of upset, and he's sort of sitting up. And who you calling greedy?
any miner in this town.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I need you guys to go down there, and I need you to go down there tonight.
And what exactly are you paying for us to do that?
He kind of sits back and leans back, and well, it depends on what you're going to do for me. It all goes by what you're going to give me.
So you want us to do something, and you want us to sell to you why we want to do it for you.
Yep. He looks like he's all smug, like he's really kind of gotten the best of you guys.
Pretty strange.
That's the way it works in this town.
I don't know, but I'm looking over at my comrade here and say, I'm not tracking on this guy at all, but I do appreciate the information you shared with us tonight. And maybe we'll have dinner with you again sometime.
I don't know. If you guys aren't going to help me out, I'm not sure we can have dinner again.
Well, wasn't that good anyways? You need a new cook.
He kind of slams his hand on the table. Bam! What do you mean my food wasn't good? All of a sudden the apes
Well, maybe you ate all the good stuff.
Apes are sort of stop, and you see kind of a bunch of guys sort of coming in the door and kind of behind you. He's like, I didn't eat all the good stuff. You guys are drinking my wine, and you're so disrespectful. All I'm asking is for you guys to do one thing for me. Least you could do. You killed my men, and you killed my friend.
You haven't asked us to do anything for you except some sort of favor. And what proof do you have that anybody killed anybody?
He kind of stops for a moment. Looks around. I see you're missing a fifth person. Kind of gets a big smile across his face. You know, you took my half-orc. Who's to say I didn't take yours? He kind of cackles and laughs.
Yeah, well, he wasn't part of our troop. Hired hand. You can have him if you got him.
You give
In
me a bluff.
fact, he's kind of expensive.
Can you give me a bluff check? Oh, nice roll. So,
this is a cold bastard.
So he kind of looks at you and he says, "Well, I guess he'll be good in my mines then." Kind of smiles and kind of sits back. He's like, I think our dinner here is over unless you have anything else you want to say."
Dessert. Can we get something to go?
He kind of looks at you, kind of bewildered, and he's like, "Only the tip of the swords and the apes tearing you apart."
Not much of it. Not too tasty. Have a nice night there, Spang.
He's like, "Good riddance. You guys better watch your back in this town."
Oh, we just checked the guy that's watching our backs.
So,
And I'm yanking her out the door.
alrighty. Tanner, Cormer, Artis, what are you guys doing?
I don't know, apparently things have already been said and there's hostilities in the air.
Alrighty.
I'll just mention that we already took out the guy that was watching his back, so maybe these cultists would be interested in knowing that you're trying to get them taken care of.
He kind of looks over at you and he's like, "Why don't you go tell him yourself?"
Think about it. I'll walk out.
Alrighty. Cormer's still finishing his wine and snacking on his food.
Free food, can't turn it down.
Alright. So he kind of looks over at you, Cormer, and he's like, "Get out of my house!"
And I look over him and I say, we'll probably end up doing it, but not for you. For the good of the town. Because if there is truly evil there, it should be destroyed.
He's like, "Finally."
And I walk out.
Alright. He's like, "Somebody that has good sense." As he looks at you, Eridus.
I walk out too.
Alright, Cormer. He's like, "It's about time, freeloader."
Definitely want to rob this guy at some point.
So, obviously the guards kind of...
Can I detect evil on him too while I'm in there?
Yeah, if you want to, sure.
Yeah.
So, you kind of do a detect evil. You notice that some of the guards sort of have evil tendencies to them. Not all of them, though. And then for Smenk, you also notice that he has definite evil tendencies.
Okay, yeah, and I go out. Because I don't think this is a place to start a battle. We'll just all die.
Alright, sounds good.
Yeah. When I leave. Yeah.
Alrighty. So you guys have all left. You're kind of standing outside the facility there, or his house, and you see a lot of the guards kind of have their hands on their swords and definitely look like they're ready for some trouble.
Hey, we don't want any trouble. I thought we had this conversation.
Well, we never can trust anybody here, that's for sure. So why don't you guys get going, man? Get out of here.
Ooh, hold on. Let me get my tail between my legs.